The book I chose is actually a book that I probably mentioned close to around this time last year, and it's called Unfuck Yourself. This is a book that my mom had got me. I don't know, I think it was for my 23rd birthday. It was a book that I sat on for a while because for whatever reason I'll buy a book and I'll sit on it for a little bit, and then when I feel like I'm in the right mind frame to read it, I just naturally gravitate back towards it. But of course, she bought it and she said to me, "This is a book that I think people of your generation need to read." She said it like in a very playful manner, but it was actually very, very truthful. And the one lesson that I took from this book is to stop criticizing and beating yourself up over your flaws. And what I mean by that is Gary John Bishop, what he does in the book is he says, if you ever look at yourself in a relationship and you always think that you're excellent, or if you think that you're going to ruin the relationship, then what's likely going to happen is you're going to ruin the relationship. So instead of consistently thinking that way, acknowledge that you are good at that. And then once you acknowledge the good, it's like reverse psychology. Okay, I acknowledge what I'm actually good at, and now I can take that information and that data and then apply the remedy to where it no longer affects me in that way. And one of the things that I've noticed with self-help books is you kind of naturally apply them to your life. And so I know, for example, like this was something very, 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 very elementary, but it was like the beginning of me applying what I was reading in this book. Was like, man, I live 45 minutes away from the office in downtown Norfolk. I'm always a few minutes late. Instead of always beating myself up about being late, knowing that it could be, it could lead to disciplinary action. It's like, damn, I'm actually really good at being late. Like when I think back, not even just work, when I think back to college, I was late to class. When I think back to high school, I had ISS numerous times because my tardies just racked up. I was like, damn, this is actually something I'm really good at. And then that allows me to sit down and say, okay, now why am I always consistently late? And then I can go in, I can look at, okay, well, that 15 minutes of sleep cost me 2 minutes. That 2 minutes I spent letting the car warm up when I could have just got in and gone. That 2 minutes was would have been the bridge lift, because I have to cross 2 bridges just to get to work. Like it was just thinking of things like that. Like what can I actually do to, be the catalyst for change in my life? And I think as I kind of just read this book and applied it more and more, it got me out of my mind. I'm very, very overcritical of myself. I'm an overthinker to the true definition of it. And I think after reading this book, it kind of allowed me to forgive myself for being human. It allowed me to forgive other people for being human and to stop holding them up to this, this golden standard or this expectation that they haven't necessarily achieved themselves.